Welcome back, everybody, to the Heroes of the Storm Super League, sponsored by Hot 6, hosted by OGN. I'm Wolf, with me is Moonglade, and we're going into Game 2.
We are indeed. Well, Battlefield of Eternity is the second map here. And, well, this is a lot of fun. One of the newer maps we do have. Very aggressive map. It's all about that objective in the center. A lot of obstacles in the way, so it's always a very positional-based fighting, a very difficult fight to take from either side.
Yeah, it definitely is. So there's different ways that you can approach doing this map. It's a 2-lane battlefield. So there are 4 locations in which the Immortals will fight. Now, despite their name, they're not actually immortal. They can be defeated. The winning side's Immortal will gain the shields of the surviving Immortal. You know, like if you, for example, let's just, I guess, make an example here. If you're on the light side and you're actually able to defeat the Hell Immortal, whatever shields are left on your champion will actually be added to your hit point pool. As you can see here, those shields on top of the health bar. Yeah. And you'll go into lane with those extra shields, and it'll push like a golem. And it has a few abilities that are similar to the golem's abilities, basically stuns.
Stuns, it does like a melee sort of AoE, sort of pushback. Yeah, it actually do quite a large amount of damage, so you have to be so careful when you're fighting them or when you're dealing with a push.
Now, the Merc camps on this map are a bit different as well. For example, this one, when the little tiger guys die, you can actually respawn them, so this push will last for a long time. These minions do very little damage to creeps, but actually when they get to the towers, the cannons, they do a ton of damage to structures from a distance.
Tiger guys, I love that one.
Those little tiger guys, man, they die, but they come back to life.
Yeah. Are they meant to be goatmen, the ones that threw spears? Because that is certainly a Diablo thing.
Probably so.
I forget the names of them, to be honest, but they kind of look like goatmen.
They probably are.
I like goatmen. They bring me back.
I like goats. I mean, I don't know.
Goatmen are a little bit different because they try and kill you, but they're still entertaining.
We had a crazy draft last game, but I feel like the comp that MVP built was based around fast bosses. You've got the Butcher, who can also deal with Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah.
So you use this comp that's good at dealing with Sergeant Hammer and then also kills bosses with level 16 talents insanely fast.
That's right. Well, here we go straight into the picks and bans. I'm sure we're going to see similar sort of opening here. Zeratul. No one wants to deal with Zeratul on this map.
Uther ban first, though, from MRR.
Uther ban first.
And there's the Zeratul for black.
Get that out of the way. Okay, well, what is MRR going to start with?
100% Leoric.
What a surprise.
But now that Uther's gone, see Johanna into Jaina instead.
I don't think we'll see the Butcher simply because of that fact. You know, no Divine Shield to help him out in those huge initiations where he runs deep into the opponent.
And I think it was somewhat of a choice based on the map as well.
Yeah. It's a great map for roaming. Yeah. This will be a lot more positional, much less about the element of surprise and roaming tactics, more about just having a straight-on team fight amongst all these obstacles in the center of the map. Sergeant Hammer still could be used here, though. You know, her range is going to help out a lot, put her in a good position, be able to shell the enemy fairly safely.
I would like to see MR take up Vala. You know, they've got 2 great Vala players in their lineup, and she's still available. Other choices would be...
I feel like Vala's this early would be too much. I think you can let her go to the later, like 4th or 5th pick, because she's not a super desirable like the tanks or the healers.
I think Malfurion is a reasonable pick here as well.
Malfurion would make a lot of sense.
We're going to see Abathur first.
I hope we don't see an Illidan.
Rhaegar.
Wow. Okay, Rhaegar. Now that's interesting. No Malfurion.
This does take Rhaegar away from black. A lot of players that run Johanna do like Rhaegar because she has such a great health pool.
Well, they must be banning Malfurion, right?
Yeah. That's what I'd like to see. There's the Vala ban to stop those Vala players. Abathur has a 0% win rate, by the way, in Super League, and there's another Muradin ban.
All right.
Not the Malf we expected.
Well, that means MVP Black can choose Malf last. They don't have to really stress about that anymore because MRR certainly will not be picking another healer up. But it's an interesting start here.
Yeah, how are they going to deal with this comp so far? They don't really have any deals, any damage deals. They call them dealers in Korea, so that's like what goes through my brain. They don't have any dealers. So
I like DPS myself.
Yeah, DPS, perhaps more friendly way of putting it. There's Lockdown, and Sonya. I was going to mention Sonya not banned this game. We will see a triple tank lineup.
I guess she's tank-ish. I'd call her like a Butcher sort of warrior, right? Like
yeah, she has a large health pool, but she's not really that tanky.
She doesn't really build a tank style. She's all about that damage, that seismic slam, and initiates with Ancient Spear and an ulti. I actually like it a lot. Very scrappy hero.
As long as Jaina stays at the back, it's going to be hard for Abathur to find any picks, in the early game, which is one of the places he's the strongest. We do sometimes see, there's Illidan and Zagara. That explains the Muradin ban.
Yeah, that explains everything about that. And it's going to come down to what do they choose for MVP Black. Are we going to see Brightwing?
I think Brightwing would be a solid pick.
Kharazim,
though, is going to be the way of things. Right. This is going to be a very, very fun match. Screenshot this draft and tell your friends this is Korea.
This is fantastic. This is Mind Game Central here. I can't wait to see how this is going to unfold.
No, Illidan is insanely strong on this map.
He's good.
Because he gets so much from his auto attacks, and you're just going to be constantly auto attacking that Immortal.
With Abathur on top of him, the damage is going to be pretty surreal. But we haven't seen this style work out in a long time. You know, it was a good style in the beta. It was an early on sort of style. But in the today's meta, we just haven't seen it work out as much.
Yeah, it's true. With an Uther ban, it does kind of lead to this style working out, I guess, a little bit better than you would expect, because you can't just Divine Shield whoever Illidan jumps onto.
That's right. No, certainly so.
Well, we're going into map number 2, the Eternal Conflict, guys, with one of our coolest drafts. Both of these drafts in games 1 and 2, pretty interesting. Let's go into game number 2. Game number 2 on the Eternal Conflict. The left side in blue, we have MRR, and on the right in red, we have MVP Black. The talents you would expect, Kharazim taking the healing trait as his level 1 choice. Anything other than that would be crazy. And we do see actually smite damage increase for Tyrael rather than the regen globe talent, which is smart because there are not that many regen globes on this map. When you do win the conflict in the middle, you do get 2, but it's not really going to make up for the fact there's only 2 lanes.
That's right. Completely got that map name wrong, by the way. I just realized as we went into that.
That's all right.
It's very similar. Well, as we see this initiation to start things off here.
Yep, so notice that Abathur will focus on Illidan most of the time, just simply because his symbiote will be able to get up in their face a lot easier, because that's what Illidan is going to be looking to do.
Look at this, Duck having a hard time with Sonya to start things off as well.
So much lifesteal in that Whirlwind, really helping out.
Yeah, she can really have a lot of sustainability there if there's a creep wave nearby.
If you avoid the Drain Hope, then you're going to be in such good shape to actually win that lane.
They're having a hard time here in mid, even though it's like a 3v4. Look at this, trading once again. They're going to commit to it this time. Evergreen getting pretty low.
Merryday getting insanely low as well, but it looks like they will be able to save him. So, 1 for 0, a free kill there, if you will, for MVP.
I don't know what that is, Wolf, and I don't even want to know.
I think it's supposed to be 2 siege golems. I'm not sure who was going to look at them. Maybe it's Abathur. I couldn't really tell.
Maybe. Well, we have a look at top again. It's like Abathur paying attention up there. Could be a bad thing considering we are seeing potentially another fight.
The Immortals are spawning in 1 second here. And it looks like Heaven's Immortal will be on the bottom.
Taking a lot of damage from the Immortals' ability to start things off here. Not too much though.
Oh, Sign is caught a little bit here. He's going to use that Condemn, and there goes Kocha right into the middle of the fight on top of Jungha, but Abathur's shield keeping him alive a bit longer. Illidan does get away, and Sign is insanely low. Illidan does fall though.
Very nicely done there. Lockdown at the back here, coming in hot as well. Looking for Evergreen here.
Yeah, lockdown just on top of Evergreen, locking him down to so few hit points. Sign escapes, and this is going to be a ton of damage done before he gets half, before the rotation. It's going to be a nearly full health Hell Demon up at the top.
They're actually, Duck's trying to trade out some HP here, but they're going to have to let that go. And it's going to reset the positioning here, as they do once they're at 50% HP.
And, when the Immortal's on your side defensively, sometimes the way that teams will go about attacking it is a bit different. Abathur is really trying to even get up and body soak a little bit here. He's going to actually have to get back, but he's actually just going to go deep. The MRR are going to try to go on top of this Hell Demon aggressively here, and they're going to try to race, but they're going to lose that race.
It's going to be really close, actually. Oh, barely gets it. Oh, that is insane.
Well, basically no shield on this demon.
Yeah, it's gonna just help push the lane while they probably push bottom, so it's not gonna do too much this early on. It never does, right? Like it's just like a little bit of extra.
It's like a beefy
danger.
minion camp or something at this stage in the game.
Yeah, it's so early on. It does scale to a scary point in the late game, though. When it gets to that 20-minute mark, as with most objectives, he really does a lot of damage and has a lot of HP.
Well, with this space that he buys still, they looks like are going to knock down both cannons here. Lockdown just going to heal so much here, always in the face of his opponents.
Yeah, I'm becoming a big fan of Lockdown actually after that game 1, and now so far in game 2 he's been playing him fantastic Sonya.
Yeah.
Look at this, they're actually going to go for that bottom camp. It's going to be contested.
Really risky. Yeah.
Super. But there's 4 of them down here, so it's not the biggest risk of all.
Especially because Duck is there to zone. And you have an Abathur on top of that Leoric. He's going to be able to block basically anything indefinitely.
It's the power of having Abathur on this map. It's never like not there. It's going to be pushing, it's going to be sitting in the lane, absorbing experience, but while that's happening, Symbiote on top of someone during a big team fight is going to help out so much.
Well, those Goatmen, as you call them, are going to push bot with Leoric's help. As he's a really strong pusher. He's actually going to rotate now up to the top, and Sonya is trying to solo. Or no, actually, Merylady comes to join.
Sonya is such a great Merc camper as well, I guess we'll call it. She can solo just about any pretty early on.
Almost call her a jungle.
Jungler.
Yeah.
We want to say forbidden things, Wolf.
That's what we can do.
Well, here we go.
Leoric taking some damage, but Duck does spectral walk away. And he's actually just going to try to initiate here again. Illidan comes in, but nothing to be found.
Goatmen unleashing hell with their spears.
You know, they do help push the lane quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing about them is they outrange the towers, right? So They can sit there and just DPS it down if the lane is left untouched for a while. And
that's why we saw Leoric actually try to push that bottom lane while the Goatmen were active down there.
Here we go again. Immortals up. This one's going to be a little bit more powerful. And once again, MVP get the start that they desire on top of it. Yeah, 3,000 damage already put off on this Duck. Again, trying to initiate at the front. Abathur is on him. And Jung'an trying to come in, but just not able to find the angle. Trying to bait them into like a little choke point, which would do so much for MVP here. MVP already kind of ahead. They've done a lot of damage already to MRR. Yeah, Abathur is not really in this fight, but he is getting a lot of extra EXP in the bot lane. And look at that, Drain Hope nearly killing Kyocha here. Very low. He's trying to get the job done. Not going to find it there. And they're actually going to have to heal up a little bit before they start to engage. Lockdown should be able to escape here pretty easily, but this is an opportunity now for MRR to put the damage off on that Hell. Yeah, well, the problem is as well, like they just hit the well, so they bought enough time to come back pretty healed up. They're going to be pressing it once again, doing some damage to it, and trading pretty efficiently against MRR's team. All right, Kyocha back up to full health. Both teams level 8. Oh, Duck taking so much damage, though. Yeah. In comes Illidan there. Abathur on top. Notice Saki's positioning. Illidan's never able to get on top of him like he'd like to. And Illidan has to retreat now, even using that first aid talent to try to heal back up. Now it's 3v5. They're going to be DPSing down the Immortal once again, and I don't think there's any way to stop them at this point. This time is going to be very different. He's going to have a 15,000 shield. Oh, going to take this fight, though. So much damage, that Condemn, keeping them inside the Blizzard. Not sure where Jung'an was trying to run. He was running towards the towers. 15,491 hit points remain, so this is going to be a massive shield. Yeah, this could certainly claim a fort this time around if they push with it. And I'm loving the combination here. Condemn, Blizzard, as well as the Whirlwind from Sonya, adding so much AoE damage all at once. Kharazim always in the fight doing that auto attack damage, getting that extra heal with his basic attacks. Here we go. This is going to be a much stronger push. In fact, they're going to 5-man it. Yeah, this is a little bit trickier this time around. So many shields. So much shield, and it's barely being scratched. This fort's certainly going down. They might even be risking a keep at this point. It's so early on, though, but they are about to hit level 10. Yep. And it is going to go up with this fort going down. Meanwhile, Illidan with Abathur are going to push the top with not only the Symbiote, but also the Locust are pushing that lane. Abathur very far forward in the lane, but it's going to cost them potentially, like you said, that keep. They're desperately trying to get level 10 so they can even up and have an even fight here. It does make sense, but it's it's really a 4v5 trying to defend against an Immortal as well. It's such a difficult thing to do.
Look at how much healing Meriday is able to put on with all these auto attacks because he's left untouched. There's a Judgment going down onto Kyocha, or on Evergreen there, but Abathur instantly shielding him with the symbiote. This keep, if it goes down, is going to give such a huge lead. The Water Elemental zoning out Jungha as well, and this keep most certainly will go down.
Yeah, certainly will. The Immortal's still alive as well. Looks like he might even get a little bit of damage done on the core. No, they're going to let it go for now. Just retreat.
Stuns Evergreen, helping the escape here for MVP.
Now it's time to get those Mercs up and running. Push the lane even further, but man, they're in such a lead right now.
Well, they're going to get the Tiger Dudes. And both teams are actually going to take those.
Yeah,
it's like a little. It's like a.
I think it's
like a little mini witch doctor back there keeping them alive.
It's probably like a fallen shaman from Diablo 3. If I was to, think about the game that I've played so much, it does make sense. But I don't think they've ever really summoned little tigers, as you say, in Diablo 3. Maybe there's a patch and it's changed. I'm not sure, but
tigers come back to life forever with that little witch doctor guy.
Tigers live forever, man. Well, look at this. Push on bottom. They're going to start working on the towers. And they're catching up in experience in a big way here. Looks like MVP's just going to let it go, though, because they are all rotated up top for that mercenary camp.
Yeah, and as you can tell, it's going to be a fort for a fort, but Abathur trying to hold down the top is going to be difficult. He has to actually back off. Kyocha is still here, so they're not losing this EXP at the bot lane either.
Yeah, I don't know. Kyocha just not a good defender of pushes, though. Material just not good for this kind of situation.
Yeah, possibly the worst hero, in fact, at
Number one
on
bad.
Team.
I think Karazim might be a little bit worse. I could be wrong with that.
They're going to be both about pretty not good.
Pretty nasty. A clock, I'd have to say.
But look at these Tiger Dudes actually tanking for the Goat Men at the back, doing the damage.
Tiger Dudes, dude, they're legit and they live forever.
They die, but they come back again.
He might just like teleport more in. Like could be like a thing like Protoss. They spawn stuff from Ire. He's like taking them from a zoo or something.
Maybe from the Soul Zoo. In fact, those tigers are scary.
I think they're like Hell Zoo or something. Because to be honest, they're fallen shamans, so they certainly do come from hell.
Yeah. Well, look at this again already. There's the halfway point. Not a scratch on Hell's Demon. Hell's Immortal. They're going to switch positions. And this time, actually, just going to be the top, so it's going to be even harder for MRR to defend this.
Oh, look at that Ancient Spear already onto Duck Duck, taking a chunk of damage. They are even in experience, even in levels, even in talents, so this should be a pretty even fight. It's just about positioning.
Oh, look at the Water Elemental actually stuck there behind, but trying to put a little bit of range slow on Jungha. There's Judgment, but he does escape. And look at that Maw actually locking out Johanna, but Saki's still doing so much damage.
Dirty fight here.
Wasted ulti on Karazim.
Yeah, and a nice big heal on Duck Duck. He's back in the fight at full HP. It's going to force them back, so things are going to turn around. Actually, they're going to take a lot of damage onto this Immortal of their own. Still a long way to go, though.
Two Ildens, with the copy there coming on this, they will be able to do this very quickly. Sign actually trying to make them miss their autos to keep it down. They're actually going to race again, and they should win that race yet again here. 4,000 shields.
Bad decision making there to try and race that. I guess they wanted to get rid of the shields. Maybe they thought they just couldn't win the next fight. So like, you know what? Let's just reduce the HP of it and try and weather the storm once again.
Yeah, an interesting choice. They do use Abathur's ultimate evolution as a result. And bot is always going to be pushed for the rest of this game with that keep being down. And now top keep might go down to this Immortal as well. So a very scary position here. This keep, if it goes down, will essentially secure MVP such a lead that it's going to be almost impossible for MRR to actually come back.
Yeah, that's right. Here we go again. They're certainly going to get this keep. It's about the core. Can they stop that from happening? It's going to come down to if it's going to be a bad team fight. Are they going to lose this team fight before the Immortal is down? A lot of things come into play here, but they're going deep.
Jungha going very, very deep with Abathur on him. And Duck Duck just runs into the fight trying to get down Jane. It's not going to happen. Jungha gets judgmented as well. And even with the Ancestral perfectly timed, 2 heroes down, that is likely to be game. There's just no coming back from this one.
No way, no how. With that Immortal still pretty healthy, it's going to apply a lot of damage to that core as well.
Duck Duck actually needs to get out of here. He does not want to respawn in the middle of 5 heroes.
That would be a mess. He's going to try, though. He's going to try and slow things down. The Immortal goes down, and maybe MVP have to turn around from here.
Yeah, Sign actually getting so much life drained away from him here. And this is only a level 15 MVP. This is only 13 minutes into the game. This is not like 20 minutes where it's an easy win after you wipe 2 heroes. Like, do respawn now.
The respawn times are pretty low still. But the next big important thing to note is level 16. It's going to be that next list of talents. And MVP are going to get that a whole level ahead of MRR.
Yeah. Already Icy Veins on Jaina, and now we're going to see that vulnerability talent. So once Jaina has that, all that extra damage is available to these heroes like Sonya to do their damage up at the front lines. This, sort of triple tank-ish 3 warrior comp is really working out a lot better than the Illidan Abathur. And I still think that even though we see it picked up every now and then in Super League, it's an outdated composition, as you said once before.
It's redundant at this time. I mean, it could work sometimes, but I don't like it nearly as much as the other potential lineups you can get in this day and age, in the current way the meta is. Look at this. Sign catching out Leoric. Duck, got to get out of there. Got to Wraith Walk out of there, or he's going to go down.
There he goes, with Karazim having only 1 target there. He goes down in no time.
My God, that could be the nail in the coffin. He does come back a lot faster than most heroes because of his natural ability.
But he's not helpful too much right now. He can slow a little bit, and he's just free EXP at this point. 0 kills
still
on MRR.
Still not level 16, by the way, Wolf.
No.
That's a scary thing.
Well, the Immortals will spawn in 12 seconds, and they might actually even be able to clear up these Tiger dudes and the Witch Doctor down here at the bottom.
Every time, Wolf.
Every time.
Get me every time. All right, well, down they go.
Down they go.
I'm going to start pushing the Goman. It's going to help out a lot.
It will help out significantly here.
It's going to actually start applying damage to the core. If this fight goes for too long, they're going to be pushing the lane in a big way. But here we go again.
All right, MVP protecting their Immortal here. And in a moment, we'll no doubt rotate up to the top. With that extra damage on Sake, can do so much damage. Look at this. Vulnerability already down about a fifth of its health.
Illidan deep. It's going to be that the copy from Abathur though, so it can go down. Not a big deal here at all.
Yep. Even the smite almost killing it there.
Oh.
Kyocha has to. Eldruin's away, but he does successfully do so. And this is the scary moment here. Now that the Abathur clone is gone, how much use is that hero really at 15 minutes into the game?
I kind of think that was a huge mistake to just throw away his ultimate evolution like that. Really should have kept it for the big fight that's coming up here.
We were just hoping for a pick, and it did not happen.
Not one bit.
Locked down a bit out of position, though, and Junga jumps on him. But Mary Day here to save him.
Here we go again. Duck taking a lot of damage already, down to half HP. Cannot get locked down here.
Oh, Johanna's shield there goes down. Duck is ancestraled, and a great maw here. This is maybe MRR's fight. This could be the one they need to take. Mary Day getting very low.
Yeah, everyone getting low on MVP actually, but Illidan's the first to go down. Follow up though, Sake.
Sake does fall. Sign getting a very, very low. The water elemental helping save him, slowing Buck on the defense there, and it is going to be a 2-for-1 trade. And this actually might be MRR's first Immortal.
They actually take this one. They're lacking the damage, which is the unfortunate thing. Zagara's not there at the moment. He's getting mana right now, completely out of mana, and it's going to give a window of opportunity for MVP to do the damage they need to do.
Positions will rotate. Tiger dudes and the top, just simply siege minions are actually now hitting the core. The core is under attack.
Yep, that's what happens. You give too much time. It's such a great sort of plan to get those mercenaries right before the Immortals spawn. Creates so much pressure and is forcing Zagara to defend.
Yeah, and that means Zagara is not putting off the damage on the Immortals. Now even Jaina has respawned. Sake can come up here and put that extra damage on Sign. Gonna come over here and do some extra damage along with Kyocha. Kyocha actually allowing him to escape with that smite there. Really all that MVP needs to do is defend their Immortal for a moment until Sake gets over here. And this is going to be a big problem. Illidan is nowhere to be found. He's in the bot lane right now. Yeah, this is a great opportunity.
So out of place right now. It's 3v5 in the middle with a potential Abathur hat. But beyond that, it's not a good place to be.
Illidan just needs to be here. If he's not here, then this is a big problem. His Metamorphosis is up in 5 seconds. He might have been down there just to clear up the lane and try to get that cooldown up. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Vulnerability going down on all of MRR's members. And there's a great judgment on top of Junga as well. He's not able to do his damage, but the Maw. It's 4 members, and this is an opportunity yet again. See if they can make it work.
Just not finding the damage just yet. Lockdown, the closest one to going down here. It's not going to work out though. Buck falls, Duck falls. Everyone going down. That's 3 for none, and the Immortal's going to spawn. And fairly healthy.
An incredible ult for Karazim as well, doing so much damage to all those members. And keep in mind, I like the Karazim pick against an Abathur because in a big fight like this, when things get crazy, with that heroic, Abathur is not there, so it's one less hero, which means the damage is spread within 3 heroes a lot better.
That's true. That's actually a really good point. You know, it's gonna add up in a big way.
And this should be game. I mean, there's no way to come back from that kind of fight.
You know, an ultimate evolution on Abathur, desperation move here as that Immortal starts to spawn.
Evergreen is just at the back trying to do something, trying to find that damage for the
trying
Immortal.
to ignore these. Kircha might go down because of this, but it's not going to mean too much.
Duck comes back and he's looking for Sake, but the thing is the core will just simply go down. It's down to 17, 10, 7, and that is going to be game number 2, again in MVP's favor.
Very well played there. Fantastic match. Much more convincing this time around, I have to say. But I think it really did come down to the picks and bans here. Picking up that Illidan-Abathur combination and not finding really any work with it, as expected.
You have to question it yet again.
Question it every single time, Wolf.
Abathur, a 0% win rate in this tournament, now being picked. That was his 3rd time.
3rd time.
He was globally banned from the tournament for a brief period of time, as is Rexar this week because of all of his bugs, and Sylvanas was banned for a time as well. So
well, you know what? I don't think we'd see Rexar anyway, Wolf. Let's be real for a second. He's just he came out. He's got some tweaks to, and he's just not really found his place in the meta just yet.
Yeah, the aforementioned bugs also causing him to just not even be as good as he was designed to be.
Yeah, that's a big point.
So, but he will not be available, not even as a troll pick. So keep him off your mind.
Sky Temple going to be that 3rd map, possibly the final one as well if MVP Black show their dominance one more time.
Yeah, we have a ton of fans coming down to the studio. Obviously, Black representing Korea in Shenzhen as well as MSI. So definitely the big favorite team in Korea. A lot of Korean fans want to support them here. As they're kind of Korea's rep, potentially if they win this tournament for BlizzCon as well.
They certainly will be, yeah, that's for sure. Still, I think Snake has a good opportunity to stop that from happening. MRR, they're questioning it. They're just not finding any sort of luck against this team.
They've looked so confident. In Group B, they looked really solid. You know, along with DK as the 2 dominant forces.
Yeah, they did do very well. They play fantastically. I actually really like this team. They seem very solid. It's just not as solid as what we see from MVP Black.
MVP with the better drafts, I have to say.
Better drafts. It really is a big deal.
The Butcher draft with Jaina and Sylvanas all together, allowing that to happen in Game 1 and then in Game 2, just I simply don't like as much the composition of running Illidan Abathur. I think it's very gimmicky. I think it's weird to go that after the Uther ban as well.
Yeah, and
if you have Uther with this, it becomes a lot stronger, I feel.
I agree with that. It certainly helps out. Divine Shield's going to help out any sort of hero that's going to go deep like that, like the Butcher.
So much sustain with Karazim here, even with a 4-man Maw. It's not going to be enough to turn this fight around.
They just don't really have like the sick AoE to follow up on Maw like that as well. Like no Kalthas, no Jaina, nothing like that. It's going to blow everything up.
Yeah. And Metamorphosis was changed. It's not do as much damage on its initial impact.
That's true too.
So,
you know, all these things that are kind of a reason why it's outdated, right?
Yeah.
It's just an old sort of meta, old sort of style. They tried there. They tried valiantly. Maybe they can find something a little bit different on Sky Temple. One of those bigger maps once again. I'm sure we're going to see, you know, a different kind of composition from them. Maybe some Sergeant Hammer once again.
The Temple's going to be really contested going into this 3rd map on Sky Temple, and a lot of different drafts possible. We've seen 2 unique drafts already from these 2 teams, so we'd be surprised if we don't see kind of another crazy one, because that's just how these guys are playing these maps, just not sticking to what we've seen for most of this tournament.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
But before we go into what may be our 3rd and final map of the afternoon, we are going to take another short commercial break. We'll see you in just a